You know, it's hard to tell, but I kind of feel like rested XP generates a little quickly. Not overall, but not when you're in a rested. No, so rested XP generates quickly, but when you're just out in the wild like this, like my XP bar, I think this rested pretty fast considering. Oh no, I guess it's been about 24 hours. It's probably about right. Because normally in 24 hours you'd get almost half a level. So that's probably appropriate. Still feels a little bit fast, maybe. Anyway, we're gonna try to hit level. I was gonna say 60. It's like the max level 19 today. I'm hoping we don't get any more crashes. It was really kind of rough yesterday. But my goal today is basically we're just gonna grind out the last level here, and it's fairly early. It's about 4 server time. Now, interestingly, Blizzard actually is taking the main game servers offline in about an hour, so I think it's like 5 server time, and I don't know exactly if that's going to also influence the classic servers. Presumably it will. I could be wrong on that. Could be wrong on that, but so we're going to try to race them. We're going to try and hit level 19 in the next for 53 minutes, and we'll see if we can manage that. If not, then I guess we'll disconnect, and that'll be the end of the leveling for this guy, possibly. I guess today's the 6th. Today's November 6th, so I believe the servers stay up for another 2 days, but I am not 100% sure on that, actually. Our rested XP is all gone already. That was fast. I'm gonna miss that. I wish I logged out and in now. I regret not coming in like yesterday when I got home from work, just like hearthing to the inn. So we have about 13,400 experience. We need about 6,000 experience. Let's like a little more bag space. So about 6,000 experience. Yeah, I definitely have read a lot of opinions about how the game feels for people, and I've heard, and actually I encourage everyone that has a Reddit account to go to reddit.com/r/classicwell, and there's a sticky thread at the top with like blue text that's like a mega thread for discussing anything that is different between classic and vanilla, especially things that seem to be brought over from the Legion client. There's quite a few things I think that people have observed, and we're basically trying to collect a big list, and we can't obviously verify all of them are true, but we're getting as many as we can and passing that list along to Blizzard. We do have contact with Blizzard from the Discord, from the Reddit, and through our Discord we do talk to some blues through there. So I think we'll be able to get that list to them pretty easily. I think it's not really whether or not Blizzard will see it, it's more whether or not they'll do anything with seeing the list. I mean, we can't guarantee they're going to do anything. It's a long list. It's probably not fully accurate. A lot of it is based on people's feelings about what vanilla was like, and some of that is also based on private server feelings. So, we can't ensure that the list is 100% accurate, but, it at least might give Blizzard some things to scroll down through and just check off one by one. I'm sure they have their own internal list, and I'm sure they don't need our help with that, but they've discussed quite a bit about wanting community feedback on stuff, so there's really no reason for us not to provide them as much feedback as we reasonably can. And that's a fairly organized list, which is nice. Not organized, but a fairly straightforward list. So please go there, and if you have anything you've noticed that isn't already on the list, maybe do like a Control F or Apple key F and do a search and just see if anything comes up that is already there. That don't bother repeating it, but if it's not there, please add it on. We really want to get that as comprehensive as possible. It's one of the big things I think from the community that people are working on. There's also a large, what's it called? Like a revised raid timeline that's floating around that I think most people like quite a bit. And Blizzard even mentioned themselves that the raid timeline is up for, or the content release timeline, which includes non-raid stuff, such as the honor system and battlegrounds, etc. Blizzard has said that they're not definitive on the current list, so I don't see any reason to believe that they wouldn't make changes for us, if they can agree that it's feasible and overall worthwhile. But yeah, so I think at this point, the thing the community needs to do is get as much. I'm just gonna dump a bunch of these soul shards real quick. Should just make a macro for real, but we don't need all those. But I think the best thing the community can do is really push politely. Like, again, I said this a long time ago when I was kind of making out just a discussion video about classic servers, about which we didn't know existed at that time. How I wanted people to push for them, but I don't want people to just freak out and, like, I don't know, just be jerks. Like, there's no point. If I were Blizzard, I would legitimately just ignore everyone that starts throwing insults. Like, I just don't care. Like, if that's the best argument you can make is using insults, then I don't really think you have a good argument. So, and I won't listen to your opinion, even if you're right. I don't care. Like, I am legitimately not gonna entertain people that are rude and insulting, personally. So, you know, I think for the most part, though, the community's done a pretty good job. We didn't do what the Diablo community did and really flip our lids about something, although to be fair, I can get why the Diablo community is really upset. I'm upset not even play Diablo. I think it was a really, really big mistake for Blizzard to announce Diablo Immortal the way they did. I remember when Hearthstone was announced, and that was in like 2012 or 13. I think it might have been in BlizzCon 2012. I distinctly remember, I used to visit, I don't visit it anymore, but I used to visit a website called NeoGAF, which I haven't been there in years now, like several years I think. But I used to go there, and I remember everyone there just like laughing at Blizzard and being like, and insulting them, and being like, wow, what idiots, who wants a casual card game? We expected some new like big IP. I mean, the people were pretty rude about it, and to be honest, Hearthstone turned out to be one of Blizzard's more popular games, and even by hardcore players. I mean, like, it's a legitimately very fun game. I'm not saying it's like hardcore Hearthstone players, but even like, let's say, massive video game nerds still really liked Hearthstone. And I think even now it has a pretty big fan base. It has waned. Oh, that scumbag got out of range. It has waned a little in the last, let's say, year or so. And you can definitely see it in streamer popularity. Like, the views that streamers pull in just aren't the same. The views that large YouTube channels for Hearthstone, it's really not the same as it used to be. That, to be fair, the game is like 6 years old. Like, that happens. You know, games do... Wow. Okay. Is this even working? Okay, hold on, let's see my tick. 67 to 93. I don't even think it's even better. Hold on. I'm doing some quick math here, a few numbers I just saw. So I saw that it ticked up by... It's not even doing anything, I think. Like, I just noticed my, watch this. Let me try and test something out. Ooh, scroll of intellect. That's gonna mess it up. Right, that does impact... No, it doesn't. That's right, spirit I'm thinking of. Okay. Watch my mana regen. Let me recast my demon skin. Okay, recast demon skin. Now, mana regens from 712. Let's run some... 738 to 64. 38 to 64. Okay. Hold on a sec, let me show you something. Let's get in combat here. We need to kind of burn through some mana to get this to show better. I like to get a nice even number. My mana would be a little bit easier to do the math for me at least. Okay, 497. So we're going to go from 97 to 23, 23 to 49, 49 to 75, to 01, to 27, to 53, to 78. Okay, so that's my mana regen. And then finally, let's go from 30 to 56. So that is a 26-point mana gain. And most of these seem to be about 26 points, right? Yeah. So all those jumps were 26 points. I went up by 26 mana per tick. After 5 or 10 seconds even. I know mana regen... Yeah, okay, hold on. Now, let's do this again. Am I misremembering what this talent does? Okay. I'm trying to time it out so I haven't cast for 5 seconds. And now I'll get the buff, hopefully. Okay. Dang it, I didn't get the buff. He either got out of range or... I don't know. I didn't get the buff. That's fine. Try this again. I'm gonna pull this guy back a little bit. Okay, now we can go get him. Riverpaw Mystic, okay. Who's like nuking the crap out of me right now. One more cast from this. Let's heal. Let's start casting this. Alright, let's see if we get the buff this time. Okay, we got the buff. So we're at 43, 69, 95, 20, 46. So honestly, we still ended up getting the same mana regen rate, right? Am I like mistaken on that? I'm so kind of sad that it took me this long to see it, but it looks like we're still getting 26 mana per tick, whether we use it, whether we don't. Now the one benefit is we should be at least getting mana regen while casting, but I'm not even sure if that's correct. Like I didn't really notice if that's true. That's the only thing that we might be getting. So is it broken? Am I mistaken on improved Drain Soul not working? It seems like my mana regen hasn't changed, like across the board. I'm gonna scratch out some of these notes. Does anybody else notice that? Am I like? I'd like to hear if I'm correct in thinking that or not. And let's also get our... Oh, we already got our buff on. Okay. Yeah. Good. And what I'd like to do is fight the Foe Reaper again. That was fun. Like last episode, I think we did that. But yeah, just like, I don't know if it's even working, Drain Soul. I mean, like, I'm clearly getting my Soul Shard, so it's working, but I don't know if it's working in regards to actually giving me a mana boost. I might check around and see if anyone else has experienced that, or if I'm just making this up in my head. But yeah, let me know if you also experience that. I'll probably, by the time this video goes up, I probably will have figured this out, hopefully, because I'll ask around in the community, but I'm still curious just to hear if other people experienced it beyond what I've observed. Someone's asking, how do I see my pet spells? Press N or P. Welcome to vanilla. Right? I guess P really would be the right one. Okay. I'm not tracking herbs anymore, you may have noticed, because I don't think I've herbalized literally anything. Yeah, I never used my herbalism whatsoever on this demo. Not really a huge point in doing so, I think. I wasn't going to ever take the time to make potions, which would have been useful, but just not really necessary. We still got a fair ways to go experience-wise, and I think we'll make it. It really depends on Blizzard's shutting down our servers or not, but I think we're getting close. Got about 3,400 experience to go. 600. Yeah, we'll see. So if we get about 100 per kill, we need about 100 to 130 experience per kill. I think these guys give us 100 on the dot. 105 it looks like. Whereas the gnolls have been giving us closer to, or river paws have been giving us closer to about 120, I think. So, I'm not going to use Soul Siphon anymore, or Drain Soul. I was called Soul Siphon, Drain Soul, since it seems to be doing nothing. Yeah, that extra 20 is significant. It'll actually reduce our number of kills we need by about 20%. And if what we need is, I think this guy on aggressive, I think? Is that right? Or is he gonna like straight up just aggro? How my boots doing? Still holding up? Okay. Oh dear god. He really will just like straight up aggressively attack, okay. It's been a while since I've used, it's been a while since I've used a pet in that capacity. Okay. Let's pull this bad boy over here. Yeah, so that extra 20 means we reduce our total kills needed by, let's say, about 20%. And if we need, let's say, 30 kills, 20% of 30 is 6, so we need about 24 kills. But we need a little more than 30, so let's say it's more like 26 kills we need or so. That's pretty doable. We're getting about 2 kills per minute, I think. And we've got about 40 minutes left before the servers go down. So we should be able to get like 80 kills in that time, so it should be more than doable. I'm excited to hit 19. I think it's, I mean, we really are scraping the bottom of the barrel here for experience, but it's okay. I love that drone that we got wrecked by the last episode. I've never seen that before. Ooh, a chest. I don't really know if I want to fight for that chest, to be honest. Like, I just don't know if it's worth the effort. We'll probably have a little bit of we'll be able to do it, but it won't be easy. Wow, that guy resisted twice. Nasty. Yeah, not the easiest. Now, I'm wearing one of my generic hoodies. It's laundry day this morning, so I got some piles of laundry going already. But as always, this video is sponsored by Voodoo Realm, and you can check them out at voodoo-realm.com. They make that black hoodie that I wore for the last, like, 12 episodes or whatever it's been, which was really in need of a wash. Now, I did wash it in between there actually once, even though it was not a laundry day because I was just wearing it so many times in a row, but for the most part that was all done over the course of like 2 days anyway, so it wasn't like I wore it for 10 days straight. So many gnolls out here. I mean, seriously, this is like a gnoll party for sure. Out of range, huh? It's kind of hard to tell exactly the range for me, still not quite at that point where I have a good feel for what I believe is 30 yards. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I'm still kind of feeling that out a bit. Okay. Let's go grab this individual guy over here. Oh, he's level 15. He's a baby compared to the rest of these guys. I don't know if there are any level 15s out here. I mean, like, legitimately, I don't think these are all 18s, pretty much 17s, 19s. Huh. We're gonna go pick off these two loners over here. Maybe this guy in the corner. 90 experience, it's weak. Yeah, it's not really worth the time. I mean, the killing doesn't take that long, whether they're high or low level. Let's go for this guy, because he's a melee, so he'll actually run over to us, which is nice. Oh, resist. Got resisted, I think. Fandoc's taunt also, so people are saying that resists aren't... So 2 things I read. One, people were saying stealth was overpowered and NPCs weren't detecting us very well. When I was in my rogue, I felt like I was getting detected pretty reasonably. Now, I'm not a great rogue, so my approach might have been just all wrong each time, but it really did not feel like stealth was way overpowered to me. So I don't really agree with that personally. The other thing is people are saying that there's not enough resists. I don't know on that. I've definitely been getting resisted, especially for mobs that are higher level. But I don't know if it's... It's hard for me to tell if it's really messed up or not. Is this guy patrolling around? Let's go for this guy. I'm gonna run away, pull him back a bit. Should be good enough. But yeah, I don't know if it's the resists are correct or not. It feels sort of okay to me. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't really have a good way to compare it, to be honest, easily. And I'm probably not going to take the time to really go through and do that comparison. But it's okay, I think. Now I don't know if it's okay. It's worth looking at for sure. I mean, I'm not positive, so people should look at it. Like Blizzard should look at it. But like there's a resist. It feels kind of normal. Like I don't know how bad it should be, but for similar level mobs, they shouldn't resist that often, if I remember right. And then the final thing people are saying is that dodges, misses, and parries, blocks and deflects or whatever, all those things aren't quite correct. I don't know enough about that to make a claim. Like I don't really know how often mobs should dodge, parry, how often I should miss, etc. I don't remember really seeing a lot of that occur on my rogue, so it does feel maybe it's been nerfed on accident. But again, I'm not totally sure. This guy went down pretty... Oh, I know he's healing. Scumbag. Man, it's a big heal, too. Seriously, it's like a full heal. And now I have no mana left. Well, he almost out of mana, too, at least. Okay, all done. Oh, minor mana potion. I just use that. We never use those things. I literally don't think I've used it once yet. Alright. Well, we're down to 10%, less than 10% left of our leveling. Almost done. Let's eat and drink for just a moment, so give us a little bit of a boost going to the next few pulls here. Now, I don't know if the gnolls are really the best spot to farm mobs. This feels like a good spot. They're a nice level. They're easy kills for the most part, and they don't do any, like the melee ones especially, basically my tank can completely handle them without me ever really getting hit, or without getting hit much, because we kill them fast enough. So it works out pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with this area for grinding out level 18 and 19. I'm sure there's better ones in all of WoW, but within Westfall this feels like a pretty reasonable spot. I wouldn't really... So my recommendation, if you're stuck on the demo and need to grind out a little bit, then maybe check out the gnolls in Westfall. For the Horde, there's really no reason you should have to. It's my slash played. Almost 6 hours, which is about what I expected it to be about. So I read somewhere, someone else said it took them 6 hours to hit 19. I don't know if that was Horde side or Alliance. I'm gonna assume it's Alliance at this point. Am I slowed? Movement speed reduced by 20%. Yeah, it's nasty. Nature damage inflicted, yep. That's a vanilla debuff for you. Take damage, increase attack or decrease attack speed, and decrease movement speed. Just a little bit of pain all around rubbed in, so yikes. We'll be at 18,000 experience after this, so about 1,400 experience left to go, which is going to be, let's say, 13 more kills, is that right? Let's estimate 13 kills. And then I'll probably just wrap the episode there. Like, honestly, there's not much left for me to do on this tune, and there's not much left for me to do in the zone. I've spent some time off camera trying to break out of the zone, excuse me, but I found no way to leave the zone. I just cannot get it to work. I talked to some friends in the secret finding community, none of us exploration communities, whatever you want to call them, and no one has found a way that I'm aware of to get out of the zones on the demo, to see if there's mobs in other zones, etc. I was kind of hoping we could get out, maybe sneak our way to, oh, that's a spellcaster, whoops. Maybe sneak our way into Orgrimmar or something, but I have not been able to find a way to get to the gates of Orgrimmar, as you may have saw on my rogue, but just overall it's been very well locked down. Blizzard did a thorough job of ensuring no one sneaks anywhere they shouldn't be sneaking. So there's not much left to do. I think some of the more in-depth mechanics, I'm not experienced enough in studying mechanics to really compare to vanilla. Like I don't have the knowledge base, and it would take me. I don't have enough time between now and the end of the demo to really shore up that weakness, to really do an in-depth look at the mechanics. So I'm going to rely on the rest of the community, and there's a lot of very talented and knowledgeable people out there. I'm going to rely on them to take the lead on mechanic problems and inconsistencies. But for me, I mostly wanted to just see how it feels. I mean, that was the thing I really cared about. Sit down, play the game for maybe a dozen hours, get a sense of pride and accomplishment, as another game company might put it. And yeah, so feeling pretty good about it overall. I think there's definitely some problems. I mean, to say it's flawless is not correct. Besides the obvious glitches and bugs like crashing, etc. If for example parry isn't happening at all or dodging isn't happening at all, then that needs to be fixed. I mean, clearly, there's a lot of things that are definitely glitches. And the thing is, like, reporting those things is helpful for Blizzard, but it's not like we're not reporting it because we need to convince them to change it. It's just a matter of, I do not want to aggro that other mob. It's purely a matter of just making them aware in case they don't know about the bugs, right? So these are all, yeah, pretty understandable things, and I think a lot of them are going to be fixed. I don't expect to have a lot of major changes, a lot of major issues left in the game between now and its actual release. There's going to be some problems, but it'll be, overall, I think, very well done. And we got him, okay. I wasn't sure we'd kill that guy in time. I lost count how many mobs we killed. I think we just killed 3 more. So I think we were at like 9 kills remaining since my last count. Well, let's just do the math. 18,800, so we're about 603 experience away. 600 experience, 6 kills, 5 kills actually. If we do mobs, it gives us 120 experience per kill, like these big boys. I don't think we'll aggro this pack. Okay, yeah, we're far enough away. I was like, I really don't want to aggro another pack here, because that would be bad. Could you just imagine me dying on my last like mob kill or so? Oh, this guy's gonna heal before I get him. Scumbag. That heal is so frustrating. It just does so much. It's like a full heal almost. It probably heals about 80% of his health. Which is quite annoying to say the least. Okay, 135. How's my armor? Still doing okay. Good. What are these spells? I really just have not used them. I mean, actually, Curse of Recklessness would be useful, but you can only have 1 curse at a time, right? So it would kind of negate this. I should have probably just kept wanding, but this will work. Kind of excessive, but it's fine. Alright, let's get our Voidwalker back up. And then we are just about there. 2 more kills? 3 more kills. Mr. Voidwalker is back. I love the Voidwalker, by the way. It's such a good pet. It really is a great tanking pet. I remember when I was first learning how to use a vanilla Warlock, people were advising me to use the Voidwalker as a tank, but not to use it in instances. In instances, you almost always just want your Imp, because you can put it on like the phase shift mode, so it won't aggro anything, but it'll give like a fire shield or a stamina buff to your main tank, etc., or probably your only tank. So I tend to rely on that when possible. In instances, the Imp's pretty good. Sometimes you can use like the Succubus for crowd control purposes, but in a lot of cases you really want the Imp, I think. Alright, so 1 more kill and we will be all done. Let's just, Mana Potion. I've had a lot of fun with the demo. I'm really happy that Blizzard released it for us. I know we paid $50 for it, as opposed to paying $50 for the BlizzCon itself, but even at $50, I think a lot of people probably were actually pretty happy with it. It is very limited because of how little we can do with it, and here we go. Boom. Max level. Let's grab our talent. What do we want to get? I don't know. Life Tap, if I'd ever used it, would have been really useful. Our boots held on to the 1 durability. I was watching that, and every now and then I'd flip it open to see. They held on for us. So, anyway, I had a ton of fun with this demo. It was really just a great experience. We'll put our SoupaSoka gnome to rest here. Not a flawless experience, but overall very good. I'm very optimistic. I mean, I'm already convinced I'll be buying or playing Classic. Like this has been all I needed to know that. I think plus the information we learned at BlizzCon regarding let's get our Voidwalker in this photo, including what we learned at BlizzCon in regards to the philosophy of Blizzard. It's where it needs to be, I think. There's a few things I need to work on. I'll discuss this further later, and there's a lot of people that have already really like beaten that horse, so it's kind of like there's only so much I need to say. But I'm happy. I mean, I really, really enjoyed this. It feels very good to me. And I know I tend to be a little positive and maybe not as hypercritical as I need to be on some of these things. But at the end of the day, if I'm having fun, I'm on the side of, hashtag no changes, but if I'm having fun, then I don't really care. Like, if there's a change, but it's a game that I'm still having a lot of fun with, then does it matter? I mean, and I'm not saying, again, there's some changes that would have been crushing. Like, if all of the endgame content was released at launch, that would have been a crushing blow to the game. It has to be somewhat progressive, right? It really does need to be. If they had removed all the vanilla spells and talents and put in the BFA talent tree and spells, that would have destroyed the game to me. Like, it's too much of a difference. I'm sure it would still be a fun game, but it wouldn't have been a vanilla feeling game to me at that point. So they're not doing any of that. They're staying within the boundaries of vanilla, largely speaking. They have some room for improvement in that front. I expect them to make some concessions to the fan base regarding some of the things that we find most glaring. And that is largely because the panel, the Restoring History World of Warcraft Classic panel at BlizzCon, it came through to me very good. Now, someone can argue that I'm naive and that there is a larger conspiracy going on here and Blizzard's really going to pull the rug out from under us, but I mean, one thing I want to remind people is Ian, I pronounce it Ian, I don't know if it's like I-O-N, but Ian, he was a hardcore vanilla raider. He was a Scarab Lord during the AQ, or I guess after that too, but during the AQ events he became a Scarab Lord. He, of all people, him being on the team actually does give me a lot of confidence. He truly has to understand what it was like back in the day. And I know he probably also feels that things have changed, and maybe that back in the day experience won't hold up anymore. He might believe that, but the indication seems to be that he largely does feel that is where they want to go. He even discussed rogue energy regeneration and how the modern system is more gradual instead of like 20 energy per tick. And they said despite that, they're going to maintain the original feel of 20 energy, 20 energy per tick. So, altogether, I had a lot of fun with the demo. I went up to toy around with it a little bit more over the next day or two while the demo's still up, but I won't be making any more Let's Plays of it. And it feels really, really good to be back on vanilla Let's Plays. I'm really, really happy about that. So, anyway, we're going to put SoupaSoka to rest here, I guess, and for everyone that watched, I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun. What do I usually say? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.